Okay, another semi-chilly day. You can hear the wolf in the background, the artificial one, because of that Harry Potter thing going around still. And with that in mind, what did I read today? It seems like that continuous theme of alleged drones flying around certain areas and creating, I guess, delays, shutdowns around airspaces. This one here says, Moldova briefly shuts airspace after new drone breach. It says Moldova closed its airspace for about an hour overnight following a drone incursion that its pro-European president denounced on Saturday, accusing Russia of flying across her country to attack civilians in neighboring Ukraine. The Defense Ministry said in a statement on Saturday, airspace had been closed for approximately 1 hour and 10 minutes just before 11 p.m. local time on Friday. The ministry said the emergency measure came after two unidentified drones illegally flew over Moldovan territory, creating a direct threat to aviation safety. With that said though, it says here, quote, no objects, debris, or elements posing a danger to the population have been identified, and both drones have permanently left national airspace, moving deep into Ukrainian territory, the Interior Ministry said. However, two commercial flights were diverted to Romania during the incident, and another plane preparing to leave from Crișanu was temporarily grounded, it said. My thoughts are the same thing in general. Why not just find a way to take care of it, unless you're trying to say you are that unequipped or prepared to do so. Imagine having a restaurant or something like that where they kept complaining all week they have, I don't know, rats or something like that, and they can't get anyone to do anything about it, where you just have to constantly shut the restaurant down. Although with that allegation of Russian drones, this was kind of interesting, as there is tension around the world with Chinese-made drones. And how about this one, where the claim is there's a Chinese company of sort, I suppose, actually taking stakes in a Russian drone maker. This one says, Chinese parts supplier takes stake in leading Russian drone maker. The owner of a major Chinese drone parts supplier has taken a stake in one of Russia's leading drone companies, highlighting a deepening relationship between Moscow and Beijing's military-industrial complexes. A company filing made in September and seen by the Financial Times listed Wang Dinghua as the new owner of 5% of the shares in Rustak, a manufacturer of the VT-40 first-person view drone widely used by Russia in attacks on Ukrainian forces. Shenzhen Bandhumaan and other companies owned by Wang, a businessman based in the southern Chinese city, has been big suppliers of drone parts to Rustak and its allied companies. And when I thought of international relations, how about this one? As you know, there's that tension between China and Japan recently, as Japan made a statement saying how if China tried to go to war with Taiwan, for example, that they would actually aid them, Taiwan that is, and that rubbed China the wrong way, where they started to issue, for example, notices for their citizens, I guess, to boycott places like Japan and so forth. Well, how about this one, where there was a Bandai Namco Festival 2025. It's a company that has a lot of properties like for anime and so forth. And this festival happened to be in Shanghai, China, and there was a Japanese singer named Maki Otsuki, and she was singing a song for obviously the fans, and then it seemed like all of a sudden the lights went out. They cut everything to, I guess, kick her off the stage. You can see how shocked she was. Now the allegation here, anyways, for the reason for this is that some official from, you can say, for example, the Chinese Communist Party or something like that, determined that this needed to end because they didn't want to promote, I guess, anything that's Japanese related in that regards. And two venue staff members, you can see, rushed on stage. They removed her microphone and escorted her away, and she was visibly, you can see, stunned and confused. As you can imagine, all the fans were confused too, and because of this multi-day festival was actually cancelled, and even Bandai Namco issued statements. For example, there were unforeseen circumstances where they had to end it. So it makes you wonder, was this definitely censorship from officials? Kind of like those stories I read before, where if somebody speaks out, let's just say in China, a couple of seconds later you have people knocking on the door and taking you away. It's like one of those things, I guess. The war truly never ends, huh? In terms of people saying that's in the past in these regards. It will always be there, I guess, in terms of that tension. And how about this one? This was kind of crazy. Apparently, there was a criminal here in Canada where he was on a work visa, but he was basically, I guess, on bail after facing various charges for gun possession and extortion charges. There were a lot of shootings and stuff recently in the city of Surrey, as an example. But what makes this story kind of crazy is this isn't a Canadian citizen. He's apparently a known gang member in another country, and with this bail they put some kind of ankle bracelet on him, I guess, to monitor him. And apparently, if this is accurate, The guy actually created a social media video of him cutting the ankle bracelet off and then I suppose taking off from the country. It makes you wonder, how did this even happen? I mean, that's outrageous as enough as it is in terms of the guy just taping himself cutting this and posting it on social media apparently. But it makes you think too, if you have all these criminal charges and records or whatever on you, shouldn't everything be flagged, like your passports and so forth? How do you escape in that way? I guess it's no surprise why there's been so many more shootings and stuff in the news recently in various parts of the province as well. If you're just openly allowing people like this, I guess, to get away with it in every single way. All right, see you guys later.